Dan Illman, Matt Bernier. The feature race at the Big A on Saturday is a division of the New York Stallion Series. This is for 2-year-old filly sprinters. It's carded as race number 3. It's a nice card at Aqueduct on Saturday. Get involved with the DRF Bets account. Sign up at bets.drf.com. Receive a 300% deposit match. Let's meet the fillies, New York breds, getting ready to go 6 furlongs for race number 3. And Matt, Jeremiah Engelhardt got half the field.
I tell you what, this is going to be very, very interesting to see how this thing shakes down, because like you say, Jeremiah's got 3 of the 6 in here, and by my estimation, 4 of them absolutely want the lead. So either this is going to be one of those instances where just the speed of the speed wins out and says, come and catch me, or this thing absolutely melts down and anyone can win.
Well, the 4 Sassy Agnes is not trained by Jeremiah. She is trained by Linda Rice. She's even money on the morning line, and I guess deservedly so based off that 77 Beyer speed figure, 109 pace-adjusted time form U.S. rating for her most recent start last month in the Key Sense Stakes. I thought she was getting very tired at the end of that race. I didn't like the way she galloped out. I guess the good news is, even though there are other speeds in here, Sassy Agnes might be either the speed of the speed or at least might not have to go sub 22 for the first quarter mile.
Yeah, to be frank, I don't know how fast they're going to go early on, because it feels like there are so many of these girls that the only way that they've shown thus far that they can win is by being on the lead. I agree with you with Sassy Agnes. I mean, there's a scenario where she's just simply faster than everyone else, and if she clears off and she goes 22 and a piece and 45 for the half mile, maybe it's not going to matter and she'll still be able to finish. I'll give her a little bit of credit for that Key Sense, though, because Timeform had all of those internal fractions, all bright red, and some of them, the first pace call was 131, so they were cooking with gas. And the fact that she was able to hang on, like you say, she was tired at the end, but I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt there. I'm just going to be very interested to see, do you have a horse like Party Like Grandma that they're just intent on trying to clear off to the front, being down on the inside? Do you have Forgotten Hero, who's only started once, apply pressure from the outside? Do you all of a sudden have a 3 or 4 horse duel on the front? And if that's the case, I don't know if I like any of their chances.
Timeform US believes that the 5 Forgotten Hero slightly faster than the 4 Sassy Agnes after the first quarter of a mile, although post position might be the determining factor as to who eventually has the lead. Forgotten Hero has the advantage of drawing outside Sassy Agnes, and if Sassy Agnes or the 1 Party Like Grandma are intent, Forgotten Hero, I think the way she won her debut, it gives me hope that she can sit second off of a horse a half length, 3/4, a length and a quarter behind, and still finish. I was a little upset that she hopped back to her left lead at the end of that debut, but you know something? I'm willing to give her that. It was her debut. She's still learning.
Yeah, and really that's kind of how I looked at it. And you're right. I think posts are going to go a long way in how this whole thing shakes down, because if Sassy Agnes is intent on going to the front, drawing just to the outside, I can't imagine that they're going to get in any sort of prolonged duel. I'd like to think that you park just off of her flank if the horse will allow you to do so. I don't see any reason why she wouldn't, but at the same time, she's facing winners for the first time. Her only win came in that gate-to-wire fashion, and with the other speed in here, it's going to be a very, very interesting thing to see. I do like, though, that the runner-up, who she buried in that debut, came back and earned a 62 and her. So at least there was a little bit of ability in that race.
Of the 3 Engelhardt trained runners, the best one might be the 6 Cartwheelin' Lulu, and I think she might work out the best trip. Drawing on the far outside, if the 4, 5, and 1 go, Cartwheelin' Lulu and Manny Franco might be able to sit fourth. Now, both of her wins have come in gate-to-wire fashion. They tried a mile with her last time out, and boy, she was really aggressively ridden to set the pace, pressed by 2 other horses down towards the inside. She was on her right lead early on the turn. I just think a mile is too far for her. I like her cutting back. I think they're going to try to sit this time around, and if there is a fast pace, maybe she gets the jump from tracking range.
Yeah, I agree. I think with that outside draw, I don't think she's naturally as fast as some of the other girls, which sounds odd because in 3 lifetime starts, she's never been on the lead at the pace call in any one of them. So I think you're going to get something different here with Cartwheelin' Lulu. She might be the most talented, but to be honest with you, at 5-2, I don't know that I would be willing to settle on that with a horse that is going to have to do something different for the first time, sort of employ a different running style. I think the turnback's going to help her, but I don't know for certain that she's going to be able to sit and be as effective.
Party Like Grandma won a stakes race at Saratoga over the summer, but it's worth noting that 2 horses in that race, including one of the main speeds, scratched at the gate, and that kind of allowed Party Like Grandma to get to the lead. In her 2 subsequent starts, she was unable to make the lead, and she was unable to run as well. Something tells me that Dylan Davis is going to be very, very aggressive. The Engelhardts might want to team up on Sassy Agnes.
Yeah, that run two starts back. She also had a little bit of an issue out of the gate, so perhaps that compromised her trying to get to the front. The most recent race, I didn't think there was really any excuse, and that's the one that really just sticks out to me, saying she might absolutely need the lead. And if you've drawn down on the rail, Jeremiah's got two other runners in this spot. I wonder if Party Like Grandma, they say your job is to go to the front. If you can take them gate to wire, so be it. But if all else fails, you're out there and you're ensuring that this thing is going to be a legitimate pace, possibly to soften up a horse like York.
So Jeremiah has a presser tracker like Party Like Grandma, perhaps a stalker like Cartwheel and Lulu, and then a one-run closer named L.A. Page is going to be the best price of the three. This filly's a half to a multiple stakes place sprinter named Lender's Way. Came from way out of it to win the debut. That did not work out in the Maid of the Miss. Thus far, she hasn't figured the gate out at all.
Yeah, that's a problem. And really, if you like her, the thing you're banking on is the fact that this pace could be supersonic, because she's going to blow the start. She's probably going to spot the field a length and a half, 2 lengths at the very minimum, and then she's going to have to come and roll over the top. And in order for her to do that, she's going to need a big pace meltdown. I don't love her chances. If I'm looking at anyone coming from off the pace, I like the horse drawn just to the outside of her.
And that one's a 12-to-1 shot on the morning line, trained by Jason Service, who's winning at 32% for 2018. This filly looked good in her debut. Now, maybe it was the sloppy track, but I thought she showed a lot of professionalism in winning that race. And then in start number 2, it just appeared like she'd feel like running. She was fractious, she didn't break, she didn't run. I guess you can draw a line through that race. If she runs back to her debut, she is going to have to run a little bit faster, but maybe she gets helped by the pace setup.
That's kind of the way that I approached it. I thought for a minute about picking her in this spot, but there is ultimately what I came back to with that debut race, where I agree she was professional and she looked good out there. That race has just not come back strong whatsoever. I know you've had a next out winner, but you've had 2 next out winners actually, but you've had buyers between low 40 and mid 40 throughout. None of them have really come back to do anything spectacular in their next start anyway. So there's a part of me that does wonder, is this level just going to be a little bit too tough?
We take a look at our top selections for the New York Stallion Series. I do not have a strong opinion on this race. I'm not sure I'm going to play it. Sassy Agnes, I don't think should be even money in this race. I think she's going to drift up a little bit, still not to a playable price. She showed enough, and she's the fastest horse on paper coming in, that I think this is the kind of race that she can get through. Your horse might have the most upside, Forgotten Hero.
Yeah, and look, I don't know if she can successfully sit. I think it's going to be interesting to see how this whole thing shakes down. This is a race I'll just be watching.
Give me numbers.
5-3-4.
4-5-6 for me in the $150,000 New York Stallion Series. The feature race at the Big A on Saturday. Nice card at Aqueduct on Saturday. 300% deposit match available to new DRF Bet subscribers. Find out more at bets.drf.com. Approximate post time for the feature early, 1:18 Eastern for race number Treese. Best of luck.